What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Not a Podcast. We are so terribly inconsistent, but my name's John.
And I'm Hannah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone. We hope you're well. Sounds like a broadcaster in the 1960s. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're well. This is Dan Rather.
Yeah, we're actually recording this at 12:47 a.m. right now, so I hope you're all having a great evening, we are, clearly.
Yeah, because they will. I guarantee that everyone, this is the number one time to listen to a podcast, is 12:47 a.m., so I hope all you 12:47ers out there are doing great.
I mean, honestly, you're not really allowed to actually listen to this until
12:47. It's kind of like not opening, Christmas presents on December 23rd, December 24th. I mean, maybe you get like a 30-second preview at like 12:46, but
I think we broke that rule this year.
Yeah,
last year.
I think we did too. But what we're getting at, we hope everyone had a good season. This is our first really sit-down podcast after the Christmas season, and unfortunately, we lost a podcast.
Yeah, long story short, we recorded a pretty great podcast, probably one of my favorites, of course. And it went super smoothly. It was like a great conversation about kind of the ins and outs of YouTube and everything related to that. And I was pretty proud of it. And it ended up not even really recording the entire thing, except for like the first
10 seconds maybe.
Yeah,
it got us saying our little intro piece. But didn't it? It showed it like it was recording the whole time.
Yeah, we checked in, I think about 40 minutes in or something, and it said it had been recording. Like, it looked like it was actively recording. So I was like, all right, cool, it's still going. We finished up, stopped it, and it just, or I wouldn't even stop it. We went to open the program to stop it, and there was nothing there.
Yeah, it had already, it was Adobe Audition, what we were trying to use, and I was like, oh, Adobe Audition, that's the professional shit. That's gonna be what's good, right?
Yeah, I have a feeling we're just not doing it correctly. I don't know if we hit a hotkey that triggered it to stop or erase or something, but there was, no record of it in the program, not even in the history. I don't know what happened. And after that night, I truly felt defeated.
Yeah, me too. I felt defeated, and it just...
We can't really attempt to redo stuff like that.
So. It was an hour-plus podcast, and we really went in on some stuff about YouTube, personal stuff too, our stories, advice to you guys, and the only way that I was able to tell Hannah afterwards, we were both really, really down, just kind of sitting on separate couches, just occasionally looking over at each other what the hell? We just did that, but we didn't do that at the same time. So the only way I could tell her to look at it is, whatever, it didn't go out for a reason. It wasn't meant to be. So here we are. We're going to talk about something that, kind of some other issues
timely
with YouTube.
News right now, and also YouTube-related stuff, kind of similar of what we talked about before, but obviously this is...
Different subject. Yeah, different subject matter. Okay, so there's some stuff. We'll go ahead and get the cat out of the bag here. We're going to talk about everything YouTube, from the Logan Paul situation that's been talked about to death. It's not really going to be about that. It's more going to be about YouTube's responsibility.
Just a part of that.
Yeah, kind of YouTube's responsibility and failures on their end to really highlight some important things and to... I don't know. I think I'm disappointed in them for the way that they've reacted in terms of so slow. Yeah, the slowness.
I think that's the biggest thing, is just that they took way too long to decide what to even do.
Right.
And even when they put out their statement, they hadn't done anything yet.
Right. And we're also going to talk about allegations. That's another big thing, because everybody's been talking about all the banned allegations.
This is a huge thing that's been going on this year in Hollywood, in
the past year.
Music scene, the music scene, and now YouTubers. So,
right.
Yeah, the most recent of that, as of today that we're recording this, one of my favorite YouTubers and creators that I've been watching for years, I watch him pretty much every day, Shane Dawson. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. It's like a top Twitter moment right now. Basically, some other YouTuber, I don't know, some account, I don't know who they are, but they're probably some drama channel, something stupid like that feeds off of other creators, basically accused Shane of being a pedophile, which is a insanely strong statement to make, and an allegation that you can't just throw around out there and, making it sound like it's a fact, because the title of their video was "This is Proof," and obviously what they showed was not actual proof, because it was footage. Well, it wasn't even footage. It was audio from a podcast
from years ago
where Shane was like joking about pedophiles, and I'm not going to get too into that. You can find it if you need to.
And that sounds bad to say, he was joking about pedophiles. It's just like Shane is very like, even I, not being his number one fan in the world by any means, I understand,
especially from way back when. It was worse back in the day, honestly.
Right, and I actually like gravitated to him for that reason, because he was so like, I don't want to say edgy, but it's just like that's what comedians do. They go for the shock value.
Yeah, like he's gonna say the offensive stuff to make you laugh, but it's not genuine. It's
right.
just like ridiculous.
It's
and that's
like
the point.
It's like, imagine like an SJW type going to a comedy show. I'm like, holy shit, you're gonna leave the most offended person in the world because everything they say is quote unquote problematic. Right. Oh my god, I can't believe. I can't even think of a comedian right now. Jeff Dunham. I can't believe that Dane Cook would say this. Oh my god, he's a misogynist, Jew-hating, racist, race-baiting asshole that doesn't know. I could just see
that type of humor. But like, we have to remember that like you have to separate comedy from obviously being an actual asshole. Like,
right, it's like writing jokes is one thing and making jokes, but it's just like to actually say that Shane is a pedophile because he said some stuff about like
being a pedophile, and I think he made a joke about wanting to look up a certain thing relating to
right, but he said like he didn't actually Google it,
and
like,
that's the thing here. The key to this video that went out, it was cut up. It, was out of context, so anybody who was viewing that is only seeing the parts, like, where he's saying that, and they cut out the laughter, they cut out the, I'm just kidding, I'm not an actual, obviously, which shouldn't even need to be said, honestly. I mean, it's kind of obvious that Shane is not a pedophile,
right.
And I just feel really horrible right now because he just started he kind of, like, revamped his content this year.
It's been getting better. In my opinion.
But, like, babe, I don't think you've even seen his new videos from 2018 already.
I haven't.
But they're, like, completely different. Like, I think he has, like, a studio now, a different backdrop. The videos are longer, just more production and more, like, time is going into them, which I appreciate. And he just launched his videos this week, obviously. So, and then, of course, this has to come out to ruin everything.
Well, I think that what's going on and what a lot of people are saying, and the interesting follow-up as to why would someone make these claims, well, obviously people get off on kind of being defamatory, making remarks. It's 2018. It's been going on for the past year.
Now. People just being, like making those type of comments, these allegations, starting rumors about famous people.
Based on something they said forever ago. And even if it was actually something bad, people get off on going through people's like old stuff and finding
their
something
life
that
history,
might be bad.
You said this in 8th grade, so you must be a horrible person.
That's so.
Damn.
Can you just imagine like somebody like quoting you on something you said in 2011?
Yeah, I think this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time now. I've been hinting about it on Twitter and such because it affects me and John as well, even though we are not like celebrities or anything. But you have to remember, every public figure is a human being too, guys. Like, they are literally no different than you just because they may have followers or even money.
Right.
It's like, when it comes down to it, we all started in the same place. And each person, like, we have feelings, we have emotions.
We make mistakes.
Yeah, everyone, like, anybody listening to this right now, I guarantee you've done something problematic or fucking shitty, or you said something messed up, or you bullied someone, hurt somebody in the past. Everybody has done something like that. But Can you imagine one day you get successful because of what you've done,
and somebody pulls that on you?
Somebody finds something from your past. Like, somebody maybe you grew up with that knew you back then. It's like, oh, this person was horrible, but get this, they twist things, because that's what these people do.
And everyone will believe the accuser.
Exactly, because people love drama. They feed on it. There are huge, massive YouTube channels based on purely YouTube drama.
Drama alert?
It's true. Like, people feed on that shit. They love it. They want your favorite creator to be a bad person.
Exactly. So people look to me like that all the time. They're like, oh my god, they wish that they could find something to say about me, like, oh my god, John's a fucking pedophile or John is this or people would love that.
I saw someone comment on one of your recent videos saying that you're a redneck.
Ha!
Like,
it's funny because how often do I rant about hating rednecks?
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, I just want to, make the comparison. Like, me and Jean as, like, small creators. Like, it happens to us, too. Like, obviously on a smaller level. But,
Right.
like, people try to get under your skin. They try to make you look worse than you are because maybe they disagree with you on something. Or you said something that obviously pissed you off or something.
Right.
And so they try to tear you down in any way possible. It happened, and I know it sounds really ridiculous, but something as stupid as the Fall Out Boy fandom spreading lies on Twitter about me and John and how we hate Fall Out Boy, but we have posters of them in our room and in our backdrop. But that's just because we want to. I don't even know.
We want to play a part.
Honestly, it does not make sense. Why would,
Here's the thing: people don't understand the fact that you can like someone but not like everything they do. In fact, I tell people consistently that watch my videos, you're not always going to agree with me, and that doesn't mean that you don't like me as a content creator. It just means that you have your own critical thinking skills and you can think for yourself. That's the point. That's the whole point, is to decide for yourself. I show you my perspective.
Yeah.
I don't say, hey, this is the only way that you can possibly think about this album, this situation, this person, this artist, You think for yourself.
And like I said, when it comes down to it, we are just people that happen to share our opinion publicly. Just because we have a lot of people that watch it or look to it doesn't mean that we are right or that you should, take that as fact either. Like, an opinion is an opinion.
Right.
And, just imagine, okay, any of our viewers could upload a video saying their opinion, but somehow it becomes different and we become the assholes because we've kind of gained this following.
And we say
they act like we've been kidnapping people to defend us and follow us. That's not how it works.
Right. They're like, oh my god, if I say anything at ARTV, his fans are just going to come after me. Well, if you sit down and you're like, John sucks, and you give no confounded reasons as to why you do that, then obviously people are probably going to come for you. It's not my fault that you're just saying things unprompted.
Yeah, and I think people get so shocked when they leave a comment on one of our videos saying something pretty rude towards us, or at least negative in a way, and then they get shocked when we reply.
And people will take that and they'll be like, oh my god, John's so rude. And it's just are you kidding me? You just said, oh my god, you're a fucking asshole. Yeah. I can't believe you would say this about the band. And then we have the nerve. But
somehow we're the bad person because we're defending ourselves. It's my channel.
Or if I respond rudely or sarcastically, I'm the asshole because, you left some obviously baity comment trying to get me to probably reply, and I do. Most of the time I'll probably either delete it or I'll just ban you from the channel, but...
Oh yeah, that's my favorite button, is hide user from channel.
And they don't even know. They can still comment, but it doesn't show up. They probably think it does.
Yeah, but I think the whole point of that is that you need to remember that these big YouTubers, even band members and stuff, they are people, okay?
Right.
And it's really, really not cool to just come up with some kind of serious allegation like this.
Right, because it takes away from actual situations where people make actual... It's the same thing about the band members, all the ones that have been proven false. It's just it takes so much away from the people who are actually have stories where they were sexually assaulted and it was true, it happened. It takes away from the true victims. Right. You know what I mean? It takes away from the people who are actually pedophiles. It's like Shane said, shouldn't Twitter, instead of making a moment about... Shane Dawson is being accused of being a pedophile, maybe highlight actual pedophile victims or else activity, or maybe
the Hollywood shit.
Yeah, exactly. Shane even talks about that.
He's been talking about it for so long.
The fact that there's pedophile rings in Hollywood.
And that's my point here, is that Twitter, obviously that's a Twitter moment, because like I said, we care about drama. That's all people care about, and they'll believe anything they read. It's another thing with the fake news fucking thing.
They're ready. Everybody's ready for the next hashtag. Insert name here is over party. That's all they want. That's all they want. They want blood.
They want to see people fail. They want to ruin careers.
Yep.
And that seriously scares the hell out of me.
That's I recently made that video, the Page Backstage response, and it's just like, I don't think that she was necessarily saying like, oh, these, blank is over necessarily, which she was for her personally, but it's that type of thinking, in my opinion, that does that. Like people going in and saying, oh, well, I think that we should all, move away from this creator just because of Paige's type of response. I know I keep using her, but there's a lot of people that agreed with her video that she made. That type of mentality says we have to, the second that some sort of allegation comes up, we have to just shun them, do away with them. So by that logic, right now, she has to be getting rid of Shane Dawson if she's a fan.
Yeah, that's so true.
And he's a pedophile. It must be true.
Clearly she doesn't look for proof or anything or facts.
Or the fact that,
prove that it's not true.
Right, you could go look up the original video instead of seeing the chopped and screwed edition, that's been fucked with. But, the interesting part of this is, I've seen, I think you showed me, or I saw it in a reply, there's a response that showed that somebody had been paid, the Pop Buzz people had been paid to post that.
I don't know what that is all about. I don't know
$6,500.
Fake or what.
Yeah.
But apparently it was Logan Paul's
manager. That's what, and of course, this right here, we're not saying is a fact, but...
that's just something we saw. We're not reading it directly from our computers, so don't take our complete words on that. But obviously, I'm sure you guys all know about it by now.
But the whole thing is that there's a lot of heat on Logan Paul right now, so somebody had a little screenshot of something, because things can be altered, who knows if it's real or not. But it was like a $6,500 transaction through PayPal.
Which apparently someone paid them to
post it, to take the heat off of Logan for a second, to say, hey, other shitty YouTubers out there, hey, how about that? And that's, if that's in any way true, that's fucked, and I would totally believe it, because Logan Paul's dad, Jake Paul, their whole team.
They're hungry for their fucking fame.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want anything hindering them or getting in their way. Nobody's ever told Logan Paul no, that stupid fucking piece of shit. I hate Logan Paul and Jake Paul so much. And the dad. I hate the dad so much too. And the mom. They're all
of them.
You know what they are? They're enablers. The parents, enablers. Nobody in Jake or Logan Paul's life and their rise to the top has said no to them. And I know that other people have said this, but
absurd.
It's just that nobody says no. Yeah, and I know people like this, that it's not like that out of control, but you see it starting because they're the bullies in middle school, and then they rise up to be the popular jocks or the popular kids in high school. They think they're invincible. Then they gain a social media following, and then they're huge, and then they think that they are gods. They are titans, that nobody can touch them. Nobody's going to say no to them, because guess what? It's good for them too. If you're buddy old bud with Logan over here, then you're good too. You're going to rise to the top. Maybe your channel hits 1 million subscribers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think I want to go back to the point I made about creators being people. I think Jenna Marbles said something along these lines, but I'm pretty sure she said something like, Logan Paul is not a person.
Hell no.
He's
a robot.
It's honestly really scary and kind of sad and disturbing that, I understand, people react differently to crazy situations, where he was when he found the body or whatever, but laughing and joking and then going through with editing it and posting it, I'm sure he has some kind of approval system.
Oh yeah, he's got to.
That big of a channel,
his editor isn't just uploading the video without Logan seeing it. And of course Logan knows what he says in the video. He would have had to have tell the editor, say, hey, let's take out the parts where I laugh and stuff like that. That's the
whole purpose of the video. The topic of the video mainly is that they found a dead body because it was in the thumbnail. Yeah. And that just, oh my god.
Dead guy in the thumbnail, using him for some views there.
How, what
There are so many red lights, I should say, that you just blazed through in your Lambo.
I can't even picture, what type of person you'd have to be and what thought process you would have to, actually do something like this, as big as you are.
Logan's the real life Wolf of Wall Street. I don't know how much you know about that or the movie and that sort of thing, but he's literally the dude that just gets into money and it goes unchecked and he just gets so out of control. And instead of the parties and the drugs for Logan, it's the views and the collabs and the clothing brand and the Mavericks and the merch and the merch and the merch. And, H3 did a podcast recently on the merch problem that Logan and Jake have, but holy shit. How are their fans? I get shit for shouting out my Patreon. Logan and Jake are out here saying fanjoy.co/Jake Paul every 20 seconds.
I know. Okay, just want to go off on a tangent really quick about that with the merch and the promo for yourself trying to make money or whatever.
Small creators are looked down on, but big creators.
Why is that? Because these giant creators are making fucking money.
They don't need the fucking money.
But us who are struggling,
we live paycheck to paycheck.
And the difference is we truly work really hard and we spend a lot of time. And like I said, we're struggling and we put out content. And the second we're maybe I should ask for a little bit of help. Yeah. They're like, no, how dare you go get a real job.
But then Logan Paul, it's okay, bro, you're a maverick.
He needs more money. I don't understand it.
I'm a maverick.
And another thing that happens with these bigger creators, they constantly clickbait. Every video they put out is so clickbaited to the extreme. But the one video that I may slightly clickbait on, why I hate Fall Out Boy.
Oh my god.
99% of the comments, you're such a clickbait, why'd you have to clickbait? It says you hate Fall Out Boy.
I know.
But you don't, what? And it's just, I don't understand the difference here. Why are we always getting ridiculed for stuff like that?
Right. It's people, I know this is a out of touch example, but someone like Leafy is here. If you ever looked at his video titles when he was popular, it was literally always, just said literally in Leafy, that's ironic, that was his favorite word. But no, every video he uploaded was pretty much just 100% clickbait,
exactly.
Hottest girl in the world tells me to kill myself or something like that, and it's just
look at David Dobrik's vlogs. Every title is obvious clickbait, and I know it's a joke and everything, and that's the point.
Right.
It's funny to me.
It never makes sense. Look at the title. I know he just uploaded, so it's going to be in my sub feed. There it is.
It's always something.
You know what? I hate. Yeah, I like David Dobrik a lot, but his video titles annoy the hell out of me. I know that's a very specific criticism. He puts surprised either in the title or else parentheses of so many of his different surprising girlfriend with baby kangaroo. He brought a new girl over, parentheses, surprise. Surprising family with giant alligator. Surprising little brother with a pony. Surprising roommate with girl for Christmas. Surprising Josh with Drake and Josh house. Surprising dad with the gift of a lifetime. Surprise marriage proposal at party. Surprising little brother for Christmas. I can't keep going.
I honestly did not expect them to be that much surprised, but holy shit.
He can't stop.
It's just a lot of the biggest creators out there, they all do this, but nobody says anything.
That was his, surprise is his new phrase. The other one was parentheses freak out. That was his old one. He used to put that on everything.
Yeah, and
he just gets caught on a word and then just keeps using it.
I don't know, but they know they're gonna get the views anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, so with this whole clickbait thing too, it leads back to the Shane Dawson point because somebody clickbaited obviously with the title of their little exposed thing here using that clip. But the fact is that Bobby Burns, who is now friends with Shane Dawson, you might have seen the whole arc where confronting my hater, that whole thing.
They're friends.
They're friends now, and Bobby made a video.
Yeah, I saw that
about Shane and defending him and everything. And I think Bobby was bringing up definitely some great points, not really saying anything that differently than I guess what Shane was saying.
Just defending him.
Yeah, but where was I going with that?
I don't know. What did he say? Just in that.
He was talking about. Wait, hold on.
I know he said a lot in there.
Yeah.
But just the point, you can't title a video that and make claims like that because, like I said, they stated it as fact. They're like, this is proof.
Oh, I know what I was going to say about Bobby. He downloaded the original video and they changed the title of it. They changed the title of the video because it was originally they changed it to I think Shane Dawson is a pedophile. Before it just said Shane Dawson is a pedophile. Here's proof.
That is defamation of character.
That's court-worthy. How is that not court-worthy? How if Shane doesn't take this to court?
It's a giant fucking mistake on the person who uploaded that. You're a fucking moron. And I think, honestly, a lot of these younger people on YouTube and, even viewers, they don't know about this. That this is, a thing.
They don't
like
know.
A legal thing.
They don't know it's illegal.
You can't make statements about somebody like that
Somebody's
and treat
character.
it as fact.
Because it can ruin somebody's life.
The point of it is to ruin somebody's reputation. And it can. Obviously, let's get into, like, the band stuff.
Yeah.
People... I mean, obviously, I support victims and stuff, but, like, you just don't know anymore sometimes because people do lie. And I hate those people because it takes away, like we said before, it takes away from the actual victims.
I think Jared Alonji's Facebook post that he made about that put it the best. And I've referenced that several times to people because here's the thing, you know, that we need to believe victims, but we also need to believe the truth. That's
I think
the simple fact.
You made a great point earlier about this is like the modern, you know, Salem witch trial.
Absolutely. This is the Salem witch hunts of the social media era. And it's just like, yes, we need to expose the people who have been getting away with this for far too long. It's not like I'm saying, oh, I don't support the Me Too or the Time's Up movement.
Of course we do. I'm part of that.
But here's the fact. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, if I ever reference that, it's like people tell me that's like, oh, that you're playing the I have a black friend card. That's that you're diminishing what Hannah went through.
A victim. I'm a victim. So you're saying what happened to me doesn't
It's not
matter?
real. Oh, well, you're just bringing that up because it's just like anytime it's
so
like
hypocritical.
it's like I'm afraid to even say it. I didn't say it in a recent video I made, but
yeah, the point is you can't win. But,
yeah, you can't win.
Yeah, there's so many allegations coming out with band members lately.
You have to be so careful. You have to treat it on a case-by-case basis. And
like, I understand, like, yeah, it's fucking shitty when those people do this shit, but, like, God, I honestly feel like people are just trying to ruin careers at this point. Because
it's from, like, 10 years ago.
It's like every band I can think of right now almost, like, has something. And, and everyone's like, oh my God, all these bands are horrible people. Keep in mind, a lot of these have happened before the bands even took off. And guess what? You've been supporting them for years plus after those events have taken place. So how is this really going to help the victim that much now that they're kicked out of the band? Like, okay, their career's ruined. Now what?
Yeah, exactly. Now what? Now on to the next one.
Guess what? You're going to forget about it. You're going to forget about the victim and go support other bands that you think
are better people.
Somehow are these great angels that haven't done anything bad and they love their fans. But how do you know that? Until
they do something problematic, then you leave them, and then you realize that 10 years down the road that your life has just been a shit show of you boycotting everything, and you realize that you are in fact miserable, and then you just
you like nothing anymore.
Yeah, you like nothing, and you just go cry in a corner. That's going to be your life if that's how you see things. And the fact is that okay, say Mike Fuentes, for example, of Pierce the Veil, say something actually did happen, and he was 21 and the girl is 17, maybe. Okay, say something actually did happen. Do you know exactly what his allegation is? Like, what was it?
I don't actually. I never looked into it.
Okay, well then I'm not going to try and speak about it because I don't know. Okay, well, it's just say that
any band member.
Say any band member was 21 and they did something with a 17-year-old. Say it was consensual, but it's technically illegal in whatever state that they were in. I mean, 21 and 17, if you think about it, like honestly, like it might be illegal in that state, but I mean, Hannah.
Years.
That's our age gap. We've got 4.5 years, and when we started dating, Hannah was 19 and I was 24 because it was like it's 4.5 years in between us, so she was about to turn 20, but yeah, she was 19, and like it's an age gap, and sometimes somebody that told me, a Twitter user told me, they were like, girls at my high school like date older guys all the time, like they're 16, 17, and they're dating people who are in college like 20, 21, 22. Technically it's illegal, but like it's just now it's like taken and construed. Like I said, I'm not talking about Mike Fuentes here because I have no idea what his allegations are.
Just say like you don't know the story, and a lot of these girls, once these guys blow up, or else if they did something bad to them, like if they broke up with them,
they lie about their age
because they want attention.
Later on, they know that they can get something from that. And
I feel like, honestly, like, if it was consensual, yeah, if you're technically underage, but, like, if it was consensual, like, I don't understand how, like, that makes the band member necessarily a bad person.
Right.
Like, because I mean, it is, I don't know, it's such a fine line.
Because you can't call them a pedophile, I don't think.
Because honestly, it's all about stage, not age necessarily. Like,
if she was 18, 20, and he was 22, no one would say a damn thing. Because think about it, somebody like Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers, he's notorious for dating 18, 19-year-olds, even though he's in his 40s.
She could be 18 and 1 day old. That's technically, like, really close to underage. But,
right, but, like, nobody
that
would
makes
say...
it okay.
But nobody would say anything.
I don't know. It's so complicated, and, like, we have to be so careful with how we word this stuff, because it's always going to sound like we're not supporting the victim or whatever, which obviously we are. It's just, like, you gotta see both sides. Why shouldn't both sides be looked into?
Because it's, like, obviously I see the angle of he's 21 and she's 17 and he's older and he knows that he can get something out of her, and that happens all the time. And the manipulation happens all the time, and that absolutely sucks. I mean, we see that far more often.
But I feel like if you're in a relationship with someone...
Yeah, if you're actually dating them...
I feel like that's a little bit different. It's not like a one-night stand thing.
Right. There's things, like I said, like Hannah said, I should say, it goes both ways, and it's like, I think people spend a lot of time talking about the one side and never the other.
That's what I'm saying. I think we're highlighting on the fact that we're not, like, just because we want to look into the person who was accused,
right,
like, doesn't mean that we're trying to take away from the victim. It's more about, like, making it even, because you don't know what happened.
Right, we need to see both sides of the story.
And you shouldn't be so quick to jump the gun and, like, abandon these people.
Right, because that's why we have a due process for these things. It's
different. It's definitely also very different when there's, like, multiple people coming out against one person, then it kind of, there's more evidence.
Right. But
and if there is evidence, but if there's literally no evidence, then honestly, how can you even tell?
Right, and how are you ever going to convict? And I realize that in some situations there is no evidence and somebody is helpless. It really, really sucks, but it's just...
That's
like
the unfortunate law.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's the unfortunate law because, like, I mean, how do you think so many criminals walk? You know, it's because there was no evidence. There's not proper evidence, and that does suck. It is not justice, but at the same time, in order to get something like that, especially if you're coming out with it just like on Twitter or something, and
like, what do you expect?
Yeah, it's just
and anybody listening, like, if you, I mean, probably not, but if any girls or anybody listening has had anything happen to them,
immediately come forward.
You need to come forward ASAP, because the longer you wait, the less evidence, the less relevant it is. Like, the more likely you're going to forget the details. The details, yeah. And that person's going to forget the details. Like, there's just, you know...
And if you wait, say, I don't know, like 15 years, like we did, like the Jesse Lacey situation.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
And, you know, I've looked into that tiring amounts of time. Like, it's just tired to me at this point. But the fact is, in a situation like that, I think that Jesse Lacey did some shitty things. I've always said Jesse Lacey is an asshole, and in this situation that, you know, like the one accuser that came forward or whatever, you know, we didn't really ever hear anything else from her or about it or anything. Like, I don't know what happened there, but the fact is that there's a lot of, I guess, evidence, quote unquote, on both sides.
Yeah, and people are somehow sweeping that under the rug.
Right, people are somehow sweeping the fact that her friends are saying that she's, like, mentally unstable and these other things, like saying that she's lied about band members. Yeah.
That remember that time.
Right, coming out and saying, but somehow that's never reported on. Yeah, because people like the fact that, you know, somebody did something shitty. It
just pisses me off because, guys, this could happen to you. It could happen to anybody you know to get accused of something, and you could be so innocent.
And I want to say that I don't think that Jesse is innocent. I think the main thing that I'm contesting here is the fact that the girl was underage. And let's also highlight on the fact that he never did anything with her in person. It was all over Skype, according to the claim. And that it's definitely still manipulation. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's manipulation. I think it's wrong, but I also think that Jesse has come a long way since then. He went through therapy. I mean, like, obviously, for him to now have a wife and for him to have gone through, I guess, being a sex addict and everything else like he did, being unfaithful to his wife, he's probably gone through hell and back with therapy and that sort of thing. And then imagine going through that knowing that you've done shitty things in the past, but finally maybe feeling some sort of closure, and then something comes out from like 15 years ago in your past when you maybe were a shitty person. And then it just kind of probably
just crumbles
everything.
In front of you. And all your progress. I
would like to know how he's doing these days, honestly, because I feel like his mental stability might be back out the window, because of that. And the fact is the main thing that I'm contesting here is that from everything that I've seen, I really don't think that the girl was underage, or else, she may have lied about her age. Considering what I've seen, it seems like she lied or else exaggerated her age in several different situations, according to her friends and that sort of thing. People who claim to at least to be her friends. But I know that that's a lot to take in. It's just that it's a very sensitive topic to me because people were very quick to just completely throw him under the bus. Completely, 100%.
Yeah, and it really annoyed me too.
I mean, I think we can open up about this a little bit. We had some very long, intense conversations right when this was all coming out.
The night this all happened.
We had a 3 or 4 hour conversation.
I mean, it kind of started as an argument, actually, believe it or not.
Because I was on this,
the forgiving side.
I was more on the, this was a very long time ago and we don't know all the facts yet side, and I was trying to look into it. And I think that this was one of the first allegations that had really, it was right when everything was coming out, and I think that Hannah and I were both very flustered and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I will admit that I kind of was being that person that was like, oh my god, how can you, support this person? I never planned on, not listening to the band again, but just, I don't know.
We were both heated.
It felt really weird to, talk about them or whatever, but, again, I mean... I came around. We both, like I said, we had a really long conversation and
we understood where we were coming from, I think, by the end of it. So, yeah. But it's something that I think it's important to have those conversations. Talk to your friends, talk to your significant other about these things, talk to your family, whoever you need to talk to about this. The fact is that you need another point of view on a lot of these different situations. And some of them are open and shut cases. Some of them aren't.
I also think it kind of gets under my skin that all of these things are so public. It's I don't know. I understand trying to get people on your side. And,
I'm glad you brought this up.
To come against you, but it's also why does everything have to be a tweet when everybody comes out, or a Tumblr post about something that happened? Why can't you go to the police yourself? Or
and why didn't you go to the police originally? It's
because they know it's gonna ruin careers.
And here's the thing. Once again, I know that some people do go to the police. They couldn't do anything, and that justice wasn't served in some of these real situations, so they go online. But there's so many people that never even thought about calling the cops. They're like, oh, I've got this big juicy drama that I've been cooking up, whether it's exaggerated or lied about. We're talking about the cases that end up not being real here, I think, mostly. But the people who always just in general go online to make their claims or whatever, it's the equivalent of back in the day going and saying, hey, Billy, I heard that Jennifer did this, do you think that I'm right or do you think that she's right? And now people go to Twitter and say, hey, Twitter, this is what happened, I'm just going to leave that here, what do you think? And do what you will with that information. And that's where the career ruining gets in.
Yeah, I think people, after we just said all that, I think some people might be like, well, you guys just made a video on 2 small YouTubers.
Right.
Drama or whatever. But I think there's a bit of a difference with that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's some drama there, but one of them, I guess both of those in a way have been undercover for over a year, and we've gone over a year without saying anything. And then once the cat's out of the bag, so to speak, I should say, went ahead and did both of the videos.
I mean, the first one is the one about
Blake.
Yeah. That one especially was something that
was deeply personal.
And it wasn't meant to and I know it probably seems like it because people probably didn't watch the whole video or saw just the title, but it wasn't meant to be don't go watch this person, don't whatever.
We even preached in the video, support who you want to support. We would be hypocrites if we said don't support this person because it's literally your decision who you want to watch.
And also, like, I think some people told me, they were like, oh, like, you say you're not trying to ruin them, but, like, that's what you are doing by making this video. And it's like, they're really not suffering from us, as I can tell by their channel.
No, absolutely not.
It's, I mean, maybe
for
they
like
a day, some people might go dislike their video, but like that's actually gonna help them in the long run because it's getting them views.
Right, it's getting them even more exposure.
Like I said, they can judge for themselves, like, what they think of these people, but this, like, we're people too, and we knew them personally, so, I mean, we have a right.
Not, I was about to say, we do have a right to comment on that, because we did know them. It's just like, if I had never met, or not that I've ever met Paige in real life, but if I had never interacted with Paige before, and I just went off on it. I would say
that we technically met, as in, like, we were friends for a couple months, at least.
A little window of time.
Like, where we talked, we've done live streams and stuff together, me and her, and me and Blake, and everybody.
Right, and me and Paige had done a couple of videos together.
So we have experience, and I do technically have proof, like, you know, the texts and everything, and the comments. So, I mean, it's not like I'm trying to ruin someone's career based on, like, defamation and stuff, because it wasn't defamation, because it happened.
It was literally more of a, hey, here's, like, the facts, and you do what you will with that information.
And the way that we talked about it wasn't in an angry way, like, oh my god, this person's horrible, you know, it wasn't anything like that.
Right. It was just from a point of view of, like, we've been holding this in for a long time, and now that we can actually talk about this because we do have more evidence than we're going to.
Believe us when we say it took quite a long time of, like, reflection to see, like, should we actually do this or not.
Oh yeah, we went back and forth over that podcast.
We were very careful with that. So.
Yeah, we were, and then with the whole Paige video, I mean, I admit that I might have gone a little hard on her in terms of, like, actually, like, kind of going after some things.
I saw someone say that, like, you could have made that video, but don't put her in the thumbnail and don't mention her. But what would defeat the purpose of the response? It's a response.
And obviously, there's only one video that I even searched it on YouTube. There's literally one video on YouTube called "Leaving Bands Behind."
Mention her, everyone's gonna know.
Right, so it's
a pretty big video.
It's pointless. Yeah, she got it was a big video for her, and the fact is that I mean, there were people who were unhappy with me for that, and the fact is that I honestly don't really care that much. I mean, I made the video, and I was very passionate about that.
Yeah, she had her stance on it, and you have your stance on it, and this is both how we feel.
And, like, I admit that some of my feelings were, that I let into the video and put into the script were personal, but at the same time, like, it is because it's coming from somebody who knew her. So
that's true.
That's really the only way I could look at it. Was there anything else YouTube related that you wanted to talk about?
I know we kind of got off on a pretty long tangent there, but, like, back to, like, the big YouTube creators and stuff. I know we mentioned, like, Logan Paul, Jake Paul.
Yeah, that's. I know there was something I was gonna say when we talked about Logan not being a human being.
Yeah.
In his apology video, even in the video in general, it's just, he looks to me kind of like a deer in headlights. Like, he doesn't really know how to act, and he doesn't have, like, real emotional connections to things.
Let's also remember, he is an actor.
He is an actor. He's 100%.
He's been on shows. Like, he obviously, that
and the YouTube movies
seemed very planned. He, like, didn't miss a beat on it. I feel like, not to say that it was necessarily scripted, but I just feel like it was planned, and that's fine if it's planned, but, like,
to an extent I think you have to plan an apology video.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it didn't. I feel like he could have made it longer, at least.
Yeah,
like,
he could have.
If you remember, like, the Jenna Marbles thing, she made, like, a 40-minute video
apologizing for buying the wrong fish tank for her fish.
Buying a fish bowl instead of a tank or something. Like, oh my god. Like,
and then Logan can say, like, a minute and 30 seconds about a dead person that he filmed and exploited and fucking laughed at. That's all you can say. And the fact is, he disrespected the hell out of Japanese culture while he was there. I mean, everywhere Logan goes, he disrespects his surroundings. He's a child that never got told no, and now he's 22, but he's still a child. But here's the thing. What we wanted to talk about on the broad general topic here is losing touch with reality. These big creators that just completely check out, if that makes sense. You don't see them as, like, I don't think they even themselves can see themselves as human or real human emotions. They think with their camera. They think with their views. They think with their money. And they don't think about anything else. They wake up and they think about, what am I going to do today that I can get another million people to click on my vlog?
Yep.
And they check out of reality. The way that they post, the way that they do things, they become so formulaic that they're robots that are cranking out machines. It's totally scary. And like you said earlier, it's weird because if you think about it, like 10 years, 15 years ago, we would have looked at a group of boys holding cameras and pointing them at each other and talking to them, but not talking to each other. We would have thought they were crazy. Now it's a Friday in LA, you know?
It's honestly really kind of creepy to me, like, when you see, like, I don't ever see vloggers, but like you said, in LA it's become more normal, but like, I see these people in their vlogs, and like, everyone in their group is also vlogging, and it's like, whenever they meet up, they're just talking through cameras, pointing cameras at each other or at themselves, but they're not talking to each other.
They don't meet up to hang out.
It's just really weird. Like, everything is about content, everything's about the views, about the banger videos. Like, I don't know, man. Like, do these people, like...
Do they live?
Especially the people that daily vlog or upload every day, like, what do they do when they're not filming? Like...
They're probably thinking about how they're going to make their next...
It's such an act, too. Like, all these characters. It's such a character.
What's up, guys?
Like, nobody's that happy and crazy every day of their lives. Yeah. And I think that's a problem that a lot of people have with YouTube, like the fake happiness.
Jake Paul. It's every day he's in here. It's lit every single day, bro. And then, like, smile more and all that shit.
I know, like, it's a good message to be positive, but it's just, like...
Never allowing the negatives.
You gotta show some more realness. And that's why I'm gravitating towards more real YouTubers. And that's why I honestly appreciate smaller creators a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. Smaller creators, especially ones that can be real, big creators that can be real as well, are, like, much appreciated. Especially people that blow up quickly but can remain humble.
That's why I love Jenna and Julian.
Yeah,
on their podcast, they're so real.
Again,
you can tell.
Yeah, and since you've been showing me that, I do like their podcast a lot. And while I might not be a fan of, like, Shane or Jenna's, like, overall content all the time, I like some videos that they do. But the key is that I respect them as people.
Yeah, I was gonna say the difference between like, they may have, like, silly content, but they are able to turn off that personality and be real when they need to. And Logan and Jake Paul, like, I don't think they can do that. I can't take them seriously.
Right.
It's like, even if if any type of vlogger was to do that vlog in the suicide forest, and they came across that, like, what would you say would be the proper way to handle that? For me, I would say I would just...
Never show the dead body.
Don't film it. Don't even put it in. I would just cut out the whole thing, probably, and then maybe talk about it after.
And be like, guys, we saw something that we didn't necessarily expect to see. Or else,
like, while you're there, I would... First, like, why did they not call the cops right away? Like, at first, they're like, oh, let me go up close and film his hands. Like, oh wow, my God.
And then he's like, oh, they're purple. Like,
can you just think for... Guys,
just
think for one moment right now, like, if that was, like, someone in your family, like your sibling or like your father or just your friend, and like some jackass on YouTube is filming their dead body, like
the man took his own life because guess what? He took his own life because maybe he had a mental illness. Maybe he was bullied. Maybe he was pushed into it by society.
He just doesn't want to live anymore.
Right, and now he is dead, and you're walking up to him with your fucking camera, and you're gonna. It's not even the fact that you're filming him and just like putting it online for your 10 subscribers. You're putting it on for your 15 million subscribers of children.
And that really scares me because that proves that they think that they can do anything and nobody's gonna care.
Nobody's gonna check them on this.
Everything's approved. And they were actually, when I viewed the video, like before they took it down, most of the comments were positive. Like, I'm glad. I saw one of the top comments was like, I'm so glad you uploaded this or something. It's just like, holy shit, his fan base are so manipulated. Like, they are such sheep, literally.
Kids these days are sheep. Kids these days are sheep. And what I wanted to ask you, though, is what do you think it would have happened if somebody else had uploaded the same type of video? Say Rice Gum. Say Rice Gum did that. What do you think the reaction would have been if he had been like out here in the suicide forest?
I think it would have been the same.
You think it would have been about the same?
I mean, I think it probably would have been worse quicker because he's not as big.
And he's not as liked, I guess. That's the main thing I was getting at. He's got some enemies. And obviously Logan Paul does, but it's not, I think, to the extent of like Rice Gum kind of has the reputation of like feuding with everybody.
It's just like Logan Paul, like they did not see that dead person as a person. Yeah, they're just like, oh my god.
They saw it as, oh my god, views.
Like, holy shit, this is insane. Like, what do you expect to find when you go there?
Right. To this, oh my god, we found a body in the suicide forest.
If you're gonna do any type of video there, be respectful. Like, teach people about it and talk and use your voice.
Well, the fact is that he acted like he tried to do that. Fuck you, he didn't. Fuck you.
Doesn't really care
he didn't.
About it.
And what about YouTube's fucking response? What do you think about that? What do you think about the response saying, oh, okay, like a week after it happens?
Way too long.
It takes them a week to even give a statement in the first place. And even still, that statement doesn't mention him by name.
Anything.
It doesn't say Logan Paul. They say suicide's not a joke. They never, call him by his fucking name. Have the balls to call out your big creator.
Because they're scared.
Oh,
they're like,
he's made
a poster boy.
I guarantee you that Susan, I think that's her name, the fucking CEO of YouTube, is sitting there shaking in her pants, thinking, "Oh my god, the money, the ad revenue. Logan was our biggest earner. We can't call him out. We can't cancel his show. Nobody's gonna watch anymore."
It's so filthy. Like, it really shows a different side to YouTube. Like, wow, they
care about that money. They care about that money, but they don't. You know what they don't give a shit about is the small creators like me and you. They constantly fuck us over.
Yeah, like, I am baffled. Oh, did you hear what Phil talked about? I think it was Phil. Somebody talked about, there was another creator put out a video mocking the Logan Paul, like, Suicide Forest video, and it got taken down, and he got a strike on his channel. And Logan Paul's was never removed. He had to delete his own video. Fuck you, YouTube.
6.4 unchecked million views.
And we're uploading videos
of
and
reviews
getting
and
flagged and shit for no reason.
I'm not advertiser friendly because I reviewed the Billie Eilish EP and I said shit once.
And I don't even give a fuck if he didn't monetize the video, but like everyone was talking about it for hours. It was up for
over a day.
So many views.
It was over a day.
YouTube didn't even say anything till a week fucking later.
And then, now they've made another statement. They've come out and said, we've put his shows on hold.
Yeah, well, did you hear what else they did?
What else did they do?
I think Google took him out of
their preferred tier,
which is great.
Wait, that's what they did.
They should have done that originally.
But how much and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it took the PewDiePie incident. They took him about a day or less to actually do that.
They were pretty quick on that.
They pulled the fucking plug on him. They threw your boy PewDiePie under the bus. And guess what? I might not like all of PewDiePie's content, but god damn, I like PewDiePie as a person. Like, he's like real. He's legit. And you threw him under that damn bus. Like,
closer to earth than Logan.
Like, he made some fucked up jokes. I'll give you that. But the fact is that it's like Shane. I mean, like, okay, you can say that things are off limits but to joke about. But in my opinion, you can't set boundaries like that with comedy. Because it's like, if you can't joke about one thing, then okay,
and you can't joke about anything.
Yeah, here's a list of things.
Where's the line drawn?
And the whole thing was with the PewDiePie situation, and he's joking about Nazis, and he's acting like the YouTube Heroes program. You remember that?
Yeah.
He was like acting like YouTube were like Nazis and stuff, and he's doing the Sieg Heil salute and everything like that. It's taken out of context.
That's the whole thing here.
And that was the whole YouTube adpocalypse. That's why that happened, is because of fake shit from the Wall Street Journal.
Everyone over because of that.
The Wall Street Journal did that fake bullshit hit piece.
Something like this happens.
And then fucking, you remember the Fader doing that fucking bullshit hit piece on the needle drop. And then some people actually having the nerve to believe that shit, like the Indie Heads podcast, putting you on blast. Fuck you.
That's another thing. Fuck your podcast. You're irrelevant as fuck. And you literally, that was so close to like defamation right there.
It really was.
Hop the fuck off. They literally made a statement about you. What was it specifically?
I can't remember.
That you like support, I think it was ARTV supports sexual assault.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot say that.
Yeah, that's literally.
With no because you like brand new. That's such an indirect. That's like, okay, Yeah, guess what? Who's our president of the fucking United States? If you voted for him, I guess you support everything he's fucking done wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess if
that's a lot of things.
And then on a broader term, if you live in the U.S., I guess you support Trump.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I wonder if that's how Paige thinks about us.
You know what I mean, though? Like, just, I think that goes back to the band thing. Just because you're a fan of a band, you should not feel guilty or be held responsible for their actions.
Right.
For liking them. Like, that's not your fault. I feel bad for the, fans.
Right. Because like, they're put in a position where they're like, if you don't hate brand new Pierce the Veil with confidence, then
you support sexual assault.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, go fuck yourself. If you're telling anybody that, if you're telling somebody that if they listen to With Confidence that they're a shitty person, go fuck yourself. I want to say something. I want to say something to any of the younger viewers listening right now. I want to say that you can listen to these bands and you can separate for yourself personally if you feel that that's okay. Yeah. If you only are not listening to them because people have guilted you into it, then don't listen to those people. Make your own decisions. Listen to what you're going to listen to.
Especially if, like, I feel so bad. There's probably so many little girls out there that, like, just found With Confidence and they're, like, their new faves. Like, I know what it's like to be that age and when you, like, obsess over not just the band, but, like, you get into, like, the lives of the band members. You look up to them. You think they're cute or whatever. Like, they're your faves. I get it. But you don't have to get that invested. When you get older, you realize this. I've been there. I was like a fangirl for Fall Out Boy. Now I could care less like about
the
them
personal
personally.
Lives. Yeah.
Like
make it about the music and not the personal life.
It should be about the music from day one, and it shouldn't. There's no reason it shouldn't stay about the music because one of them does something shitty. Doesn't mean you have to wear their merch or fucking talk about them or promote them or be a fan account for them. But God, like. If you like music, it's music. I mean,
if it comes up on shuffle, don't fucking throw your phone out the window because a brand new song started playing.
And if it does, like, make you uncomfortable, like, fine.
Then
but,
don't.
Like, you should not ever guilt other people for
Absolutely
that.
not.
Absolutely it's not their fault.
Not.
They're not the problem. You know, like, hating on the fans of these bands is not going to fix it. Like... That's not the root of the problem.
No, the root of the problem is... I can't even really say, because there's so many issues on both sides. There's so many people who have been silenced for a long time, which absolutely sucks, and now they feel confident enough to come out. But at the same time, that also makes liars confident enough to come out.
It's very true.
Yeah. I think that's as good a place as any to wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed our conversation that we had today.
It was all over the place.
I know, but the fact is that these thoughts have been floating around our minds for a while now.
Just wanted to get them on tape.
Yeah. So that's what this was today, guys. Please leave a big old thumbs up. Leave a big old thumbs up on this podcast here for us. Let us know what you would like to see us talk about in the future on a podcast, perhaps. And anything else for him today, Hannah?
No.
Okay, well, check out Hannah's channel, linked in the little outro screen here that I'll put up. We hope
to see you soon.
Yeah, we do hope to make another one, maybe before you leave. I think we should make another podcast because this one went really, really well, in my opinion. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and other than that, we will see you, or I guess you'll hear us very soon.